At the end of the year, Chinese authorities informed the rest of the world about a virus that is spreading throughout their country. Very soon people began to talk about an epidemic. The disease is coronavirus. COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new virus that has not yet been detected in humans. The virus spread through other people first to other parts of Asia, then reached Europe and began to infect people all over the world. We are no longer talking about an epidemic, but a coronavirus pandemic. What is coronavirus? This virus causes a flu-like respiratory disease with symptoms such as cough, high fever, and in more severe cases pneumonia and acute respiratory failure that prevents independent breathing. The elderly are most at risk of developing severe disease and death, with reduced immunity accompanied by other diseases, especially chronic ones. Although young people are a lot at risk of getting sick and dying from the virus, they are rarely carriers without major symptoms and can infect other people. How can you get infected? The virus is transmitted by droplet route. There is currently no vaccine against the new coronavirus. The virus is transmitted mainly by contact with infected people who sneeze or cough. If a person infected with us begins to sneeze or cough together with droplets of saliva, the virus gets into the air and we, by touching the mouth, nose or eyes, give him very easy access to our body. It should also be remembered that we can also get infected by using infected surfaces because the virus stays on plastic or stainless steel for up to 3 days and in the air for up to 3 hours. The power of most countries in the world is being implemented by further security measures aimed at slowing down the spread of a pandemic as much as possible. Here, society plays a huge role and how it applies to new restrictions, recommendations, and bans. We talk a lot about staying at home, first not to infect ourselves and secondly not to infect others. But why is this important considering the whole of society? A pandemic can develop in society in 2 ways, fast and slow. How the pandemic will develop depends mainly on us and how we will behave in the near future. A quick pandemic will be dramatic and abound in a huge number of deaths, but we won't remember a slow pandemic at all in a few years. We need to imagine what the future of a rapid pandemic will look like. In a very short time, a huge number of people become infected, which infects another huge number of people. Hospitals are bursting at the seams, basic safety precautions such as place, masks, disinfectants, medications, respirators are beginning to be lacking, as a result of which health care is also easily infected. There is a shortage of doctors and people who can help us. Doctors must decide who to treat because they are not able to cure everyone anymore, they choose people who have the best chance of getting better. Hundreds of people die and there is a chance that they have not received any help. They are mainly the elderly, our parents and grandparents. However, what will the future of a slow pandemic look like? The virus spreads more slowly and we do not lead to a huge number of cases at the same time. We give you time to produce and buy the necessary funds, and doctors to treat all patients in much safer conditions. We also give time to create a vaccine and to produce it. With this option, the number of deaths is much lower. Until we have the coronavirus vaccine, we need to take as much precaution as possible and we must become a vaccine for the spread of the virus. Above all, we must follow 2 rules: 1. Do not infect yourself, 2. Do not infect others. Hand washing, which is already mentioned at every step, sounds a bit childish, but it has a fundamental impact on killing the virus in a preventive way. Any soap is a powerful weapon in the fight against the virus. The coronavirus is enclosed in a layer of fat protecting it. Soap destroys this layer and thus prevents infection. Wash your hands on each side, at least 30 seconds exactly. Another thing is the distance as we have to keep among other people, whether in the store or on the street. Let's stick to 1.5 meters from others. If we have the opportunity, let's stay at home, keep quarantine and leave it only when necessary. Under no circumstances should we visit people older than us because, as we have already mentioned, that we have no symptoms does not mean that we are not carriers of the virus. Our really minimal dedication can realistically give at least a substitute for the comfort of work for people without whom our society could not function now and who